Hi students, so welcome to my channel. So in this video we are going to discuss AP NTSE 2018-19 paper. So in this we are going to discuss all the 20 questions that were asked in the subject mathematics, right? So if you are new to this channel, so please subscribe the channel and watch the video till the end. So don't skip the video. Next, if you like the video, so please share with your friends so that they also get benefited from the video. Right, let us begin problem solving. So question number 1. So one of the factors of x cube minus 23x square plus 142x minus 120 is. So here if you observe, since this is a cubic polynomial, so we cannot directly find out the zeros or the factors of this polynomial. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to use trial and error method. So first of all, we need to find out one of the factors. So how can we find? So by substituting the values. So either you can substitute 1, minus 1, 2, minus 2. So any of the values, so any one of the factors if you can find, so based on that you can directly get the remaining two factors, right? So let us see. So for 1, that is nothing but x minus 1. So for x minus 1 to be a factor, since in one of the options x minus 1 is given, so we are talking about x minus 1. To make x minus 1 as a factor, so what we need to satisfy? So we need to see sum of coefficients is equal to 0 or not. If sum of coefficients is equal to 0, then x minus 1 is a factor. So when I substitute x is so by looking at the sum of coefficients, so 1 minus 23 plus 142 minus 120. So this gives me 0 because 1 plus 142 is 143, minus 23 minus 120 is minus 143. So sum of coefficients is 0. So clearly x minus 1 is a factor. If furthermore, if remaining factors are also asked, then how to proceed? So simply what you are going to do, either you can go by long division method or synthetic division method. So by using that we can simply say, so by considering the coefficients 1 minus 1 to minus 23, 142 and minus 120. So since x is equal to minus 1, so that means x minus 1 is a factor, so you are going to consider x is equal to 1. By taking 0 below the leading coefficient, on adding I am going to get 1. So whatever the value that you get, you need to multiply with this 1. So 1 into 1, 1. So minus 23 plus 1, minus 22. So this minus 22 ones are minus 22. So this gives me 120. Again 120 ones are 120. So here this is nothing but the remainder. So already we said that x minus 1 is a factor, so clearly remainder will be 0, and this is nothing but my quotient, and whatever the values that I am remained with, so those will be my quotients. So these are nothing but coefficients of x cube, x square, x and constant, right? The same way after doing one division, so one power will be reduced, so this becomes x square coefficient, this is x coefficient, and this is constant. So from this clearly, for suppose this polynomial is some f of x, then we can write this f of x as x minus 1 into this quotient. So what is this quotient? X square minus 22x plus 120. So if you observe this, so this is nothing but a quadratic polynomial. So again I am going to get two factors from this. So what are those two factors? Means x minus 10 into x minus 12. So how we got this? So if you observe the signs, so this is positive, this is negative, and this is positive. So how many times the sign has changed? So it has changed 2 times. So when there are 2 sign changes, that means both the factors will be positive. So that means x minus 10, that means x is equal to 10, you will get x is equal to 12. Okay, so again 120, what are the factors of 120? 10 12s are 120, so which will be satisfying minus 22 also. So remaining two factors of x minus 10 and x minus 12. So likewise we can solve this problem. Next, moving on to one more question. The volume of a regular cylindrical wire of diameter 2 millimeters is 99 cubic centimeters. Then the length of the wire in meters. So here millimeter, started with millimeter and given centimeters. Next finally is asking in meters. So there are 3 units clearly, right? Now he is talking about the volume of cylindrical wire in which diameter is given. So first of all, taking the diameter, so diameter is nothing but 2 times of radius, right? So 2 times of radius is given as 2 millimeters. So from this, radius is equal to 1 millimeter. So first of all, converting 1 millimeter into centimeters, so this gives me 1 by 10 centimeters. So radius is 1 by 10 centimeters. And one more thing he has given, so volume of cylinder is equal to given as 99 cubic centimeters. So cubic centimeters or centimeter cube, both are same, right? So volume of cylinder, already we know the formula, so it is nothing but pi r square h. So pi r square h is equal to 99 he has given. So when I substitute the values, 22 by 7 into, what is the value of r? R is 1 by 10 into 1 by 10 into, here height is nothing but the length of the wire. So this is nothing but 99 by 1. So when I transpose, so what I am going to get is, so h is equal to 99 by 1 into, so when I transpose all these things, they will get reciprocated, right? So this becomes 7 by 22 into 10 by 1 into 10 by 1. Now on cancellation, so in 11 table this goes 9 times, in 11 table this goes 2 times. 9 sevens are 63, 63 into 100, this gives me 6300 divided by 2. So from this, 2 3s are 6, 2 1s are 2, 2 5s are 10, so one more 0. So height is nothing but 3150 centimeters. But he is asking the length, so height is nothing but length here. So length is equal to how many meters he is asking, but what we got? Centimeters. So already we know 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So from this, what about 1 centimeter? This 100 if I transpose, then this becomes 1 by 100 meters. So instead of 1 centimeter, I can write 1 by 100 meters. So this becomes 3150 into 1 by 100. So 0 0 gets cancelled. So this 10 will bring one decimal point. So this becomes 31.5 meters. So the length of the wire is 31.5 meters, which is nothing but option 3. Next, moving on to one more question. So what he has given, radius of cone and cylinder are in the ratio 2:3. So that means radius of cone by radius of cylinder is equal to 2 by 3. Next, what he has given, height of cone by height of cylinder. So is following the same order. So it is given as 3 by 2. Next, what is asking, volumes in the same ratio. So volume of cone by, so in the same order, so volume of cone by volume of cylinder. So already we know volume of cone is 1/3 pi r square cone into h by volume of cylinder is pi r square of cylinder into height of cylinder. So here if you observe, pi gets cancelled. Finally what I am going to get, 1 by 3 into r suffix co by r suffix cy whole square, right? So r suffix co by r suffix cy is nothing but 2 by 3 whole square into h suffix co by h suffix cy is nothing but 3 by 2. So when I directly substitute, what I am going to get, 1 by 3 into, so this is nothing but 4 by 9 into 3 by 2. So this 3 gets cancelled, this 2 in 4, it goes 2 times. So finally what is the answer? 2:9. So answer is option 4. Next, moving on to one more question. If cosecant theta minus sin theta is equal to 4, cosecant theta minus sin theta is equal to 4, then what is the value of sin square theta plus cosecant square theta, right? So from this, what I am going to get, so cosecant theta I can write as 1 by sin theta. So 1 by sin theta minus sin theta is equal to 4. On taking LCM, what I am going to get, 1 minus sin square theta is equal to 4 sin theta. So when I transpose everything to right hand side, I am going to get sin square theta plus 4 sin theta minus 1 is equal to 0. Since this is a quadratic equation in terms of sin theta, so from this clearly sin theta is equal to minus 4 plus or minus square root of b square means 16 minus 4 into a is 1, c is minus 1 divided by 2a, so 2 times of 1. So from this, what I am going to get, so minus 4 plus or minus 16 minus of minus 4 is, so minus 4 into minus 1 plus 4, 16 plus 4 is 20. So square root of 20 is 2 root 5. So 2 root 5 divided by 2. So in the numerator, if I take 2 as common, what I am going to get, minus 2 plus or minus root 5 divided by 2. So these 2 gets cancelled. Then finally, what are the values that I am going to get for sin theta? So sin theta is equal to minus 2 plus or minus root 5. Okay, now I can take sin theta is equal to minus 2 plus root 5 or minus 2 minus root 5. But what is the value of root 5? Root 5 is equal to 2.236. Root 5 value is 2.236. So when I substitute that here, minus 2 minus 2.236 minus 4 point. But what is the value of sin theta? What is the range of sin theta? So sin theta ranges between minus 1 and plus 1. That means clearly this won't be my answer. So only possibility is root 5 minus 2. So sin theta value is root 5 minus 2. So finally coming to here. So what did he ask you to find? So sin square theta plus cosecant square theta. Again cosecant square theta I can write it as 1 by sin square theta. So when I substitute the value, what I am going to get? Root 5 minus 2 whole square plus 1 by root 5 minus 2 whole square. Now since in the denominator I am having irrational number, so what I am going to do is I am going to rationalize. So what is the rationalizing factor? Root 5 plus 2 whole square by root 5 plus 2 whole square. Now on expansion, what I am going to get here? So this becomes 5 plus 4. So root 5 whole square is 5, 2 whole square is 4, minus 2 2s are 4 root 5. So here I am going to get 4 root 5 plus, here if you observe, so this is nothing but conjugate of this only, no? So it is nothing but conjugate of this, then this becomes 5 plus 4 root 5 whole divided by, here if you observe, this is nothing but some m square, this is some n square. So m square into n square I can write as mn whole square. Again inside value a, this is nothing but in the form of a minus b, and this is in the form of a plus b. A plus b into a minus b I can write as a square minus b square. Then this becomes root 5 whole square minus 2 whole square whole square. Now root 5 whole square is 5, 2 whole square is 4, 5 minus 4 is 1, 1 square is 1. So no need of writing this denominator now then. So directly this becomes 9 minus 4 root 5 plus here 9 plus 4 root 5 divided by 1. Here minus 4 root 5 plus 4 root 5 gets cancelled. 9 plus 9 is 18. So answer is option 4. Next, moving on to one more question. If number of observations n is even, if n is even, then n is even means we will be having two middle terms. We need to consider the average of those two middle terms. So here we are having the options. So we need to consider the average of n by 2th observation and its next observation, n by 2 plus 1th observation. So where is the option? So option 2. So we need to consider the average of n by 2 and n by 2 plus 1th observations. Okay, if it is odd, then directly n plus 1 by 2th observation is my answer. Next, moving on to one more question. So 4 numbers in AP whose sum is 20 and the sum of whose squares is 120, then the numbers are. So simply, so from the options, so this is crossing 20. Only 2 terms sum is crossing 20. Here sum of 3 terms is equal to 20 and we are having 8 more. Next, here also sum of 2 terms is crossing 20. So from this, simply this is my odd man out. So directly this is my answer. Okay, for suppose other than these options, if any other alternative is given, then how to find? Okay, so here since he is saying it is in AP and there are 4 terms. So whenever you are having 4 terms that are in AP, then you need to consider the terms in such a way that their common difference is same. So how we are going to consider is, so A minus D, A plus D. So if 2 terms are given, then you consider like this, A minus D, A plus D. The same way, then since here he is asking 4 terms, so we are going to consider A minus 3D and A plus 3D. So if you observe, these two are having the common difference 2D, these two are also having common difference 2D, these two are also having common difference 2D. So from this clearly the common difference is 2D. Right, now first of all the sum of these terms is 20 he has given. That means when I add all these, so A minus 3D, A minus D, A plus D, A plus 3D, I am going to get 4A, which is equal to 20. So from this what I am going to get, A is equal to 5. So when I substitute A is equal to 5, then my terms becomes 5 minus 3D, 5 minus d, 5 plus 3, 5 plus d, 5 plus 3d. Now these are nothing but my terms. Now the next condition what he has given, sum of whose squares is 120 degrees. That means sum of squares, which is nothing but 5 minus 3d whole square plus 5 minus d whole square plus 5 plus d whole square plus 5 plus 3d whole square. So sum of squares, so this will be equal to 120. Now clearly if you observe here, these two terms follows a minus d whole, so a minus b whole square, these two terms follows a plus b whole square. So when I consider all a squares, so a squares are all equal, no? So 5 square, 5 square, 5 square, 5 square. How many 5 squares I am getting? So 4 times of 5 square plus next b squares. So here 9d square I am going to get, here d square, here d square, here 9d square. 9 plus 9, 18 plus 2. So I am going to get 20d squares. Next I am talking about minus 2ab plus 2ab. So here minus 2ab means minus 30d. In the first term I am going to get minus 30d. In the fourth term I am going to get plus 30d. So those two will get cancelled. Here minus 10d, here plus 10d. So those also will get cancelled. So I will be left with only two terms here, which is equal to 120. So 5 square is 25, 25 4s are 100. So when I transpose that 100, this becomes 20d square is equal to 120 minus 100 is 20 again. So from this d square is equal to 1, which gives me d is equal to plus or minus 1. So d can be positive 1 or negative 1. So here we will be considering positive. So if you consider negative also you will get the same answer. Here I am going to consider positive. So if d is equal to plus 1, if d is equal to plus 1, what will happen? So this can be written as 5 minus 3, 5 minus 1, 5 plus 1, 5 plus 3. So which gives me 5 minus 3 is 2, 5 minus 1 is 4, 5 plus 1 is 6, 5 plus 3 is 8. So these are nothing but my numbers. So if you consider d is equal to minus 1, so you will be getting in reverse order. But still those 4 numbers are nothing but the same 4 numbers, right? So likewise you need to consider, right? If odd number of terms are considered, for suppose if you are having 3 terms, then you need to consider it in this way: a minus d, a plus d. If I am having 5 terms, so next to 2 terms will be there. So here the common difference you need to consider it as d. Okay, so simply you can remember, if odd number of terms are there, a should be in the middle. If even number of terms are there, there won't be any a. So everything will be in pairs. Likewise you can remember, right? Next, moving on to one more question. So 3 times of sin x minus cos x whole power 4 plus 6 times of sin x plus cos x whole square plus 4 times of sin power 6x plus cos power 6x. So if you want to do it in a simple way, simply replace x is equal to 0 degrees. So when you replace x is equal to 0 degrees, what will happen? So 3 times of sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1 whole power 4 plus 6 times of sin 0, 0 plus cos 0, 1 whole square plus 4 times of sin power 0, 0. So sin 6 power 0 is 0 plus cos is 1. So simply 3 into minus 1 whole power means plus 1. So 3 plus 6 plus 4. So directly the answer is 13. So answer is 13. So other than x is equal to 0, we can substitute any value. So not only x is equal to 0, so you can substitute any value. So in multiple answer type questions you can apply this particular shortcut, right? Next, moving on to one more question. In triangle ABC, DEF are respectively midpoints of sides BC, CA and AB. P is a point on BC such that AP is perpendicular to BC. If angle DEF is equal to 50 degrees, then what is the angle FPD? So this angle we need. Okay, now let us see. If you observe this, so D, E, F are nothing but midpoints, right? So if these are midpoints of this triangle, then simply what I can say, by converse of midpoint theorem, what I can say, so this side will be parallel to this side. That means EF will be parallel to BC. The same way ED will be parallel to this particular side BF or BA. So those two lines will be parallel. So clearly what we can say, B, D, E, F forms a parallelogram, no? So BD, EF forms a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. That means this angle is 50 degrees. So if this angle is 50 degrees, now if you observe this, what he has given, so this side and this side length, so these three side lengths are equal. In triangle BEFP, so these two sides are equal. So when these two sides are equal, then their opposite base angles are also equal. So this is 50 degrees. So clearly this angle and this angle forms a linear pair, right? So if this is 50 degrees, then clearly this angle is 130 degrees. So answer is 130 degrees. So what are the concepts that we have used here? So by converse of midpoint theorem, we say those are parallel and it will be equal to half of the opposite side. So that also we can say, but here no need of those parts. And one more thing, so what we have used, so since sides are parallel, we get a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So using that concept, we are going to get the answer for this question. Okay, next moving on to one more question. In this particular triangle ABC, DE is parallel to BC. So this is parallel to BC. And what he has given, AD by DB is equal to 3:5. Now AC, so AC means this total length, no? So this total length is given as 5.6 and is asking you to find AE. So by observing these particular notations, so what we have used, the same way if I consider the other side also, so how I have considered this way, the same way if I consider on the other side also, so that also will be my Thales theorem or basic proportionality theorem. So how can you apply that? So AD by AB is equal to AE by AC. Now when I substitute the values, so 3 by 5 is equal to, so 3 by not 5, AD by AB, no? So AB means, so from the figure, what is AB? So AB is nothing but 3 plus 5, which is equal to AE. So that is the thing what we need to find by AC. So AC is nothing but 5.6. So what is the value of 3 plus 5? 3 plus 5 is 8. So 8 7s are 56, no? So since here we are having decimal point, so 0.7 times. So when I do cross multiplication, A is equal to 7 3s are 21. So using the decimal point, we are going to have 2.1 centimeters. So answer is 2.1 centimeters. Next, moving on to one more question. So what he has given, x less than 1 and he is asking you to find x minus 1. So when I take x minus 1, so how can I get x minus 1? By adding minus 1 on both sides. So 1 minus 1, this gives me x minus 1 is less than 0. So since x minus 1 is less than 0, it is negative. Next, what he has given, so y is less than minus 1. So y is less than 1. Since I need y minus 3, so by adding minus 3 on both sides, so this becomes, so y minus 3 is less than minus 1 minus 3. So this gives me y minus 3 is less than minus 4. So if y minus 3 is less than minus 4, that means it is, so y minus 3 is negative only, no? So if both are negative, that means quadrant number 3. Next, moving on to one more question. So if ABC are in AP, then AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0 will always pass through a fixed point whose coordinates are. So the question is given like this. So ABC are in AP, that means, so what is the relation that we can bring out? 2B is equal to A plus C. 2B is equal to A plus C. So from this I can write C is equal to 2B minus A. So replace C is equal to 2B minus A in this equation. So AX plus BY plus 2B minus A is equal to 0. Now since I need the coordinates x and y, right? So here if I take x A as common, then how can I write this as? So this becomes x plus 2 plus here if I take B as common, then I can write as, sorry, if I take x as common, so AX plus BY plus 2B minus A. So if I take A as common, so what I got here? So if I take A as common, x minus 1, and here if I take B as common, then y plus 2 is equal to 0. So if you observe this, so this is nothing but A times of x minus 1 plus B times of y plus 2 is equal to 0. That means here we are getting two line equations. So we are getting two line equations. So this is one line and this is another line. So if you find the point of intersection of these two lines, so that means it always passes through the point of intersection of these two lines. So if you want to find the point of intersection of two lines, then what I need to do, x minus 1 is equal to 0 and y plus 2 is equal to 0. So from this clearly x is equal to 1 and y is equal to minus 2. X is equal to 1 and y is equal to minus 2. Otherwise, what we can simply say, so here a times of x minus 1 plus b times of y plus 2 is equal to 0. Since a and b are real numbers, right? Since a, b, c are in AP, so a, b are some real numbers. So they can't be equal to 0 because they are following arithmetic progression. So only possibility is this x minus 1 is equal to 0 or and y plus 2 is equal to 0. At a time these two should be equal to 0. So from that what we can say, x is equal to 1, y is equal to minus 2. So option 3 is my answer. Otherwise, so we can do otherwise also. So ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. So this is the given question. Now from this, instead of b, if I replace with a plus c by 2, then I can write as ax plus, instead of b, a plus c by 2 into y plus c is equal to 0. When I take LCM, this becomes 2ax plus ay plus cy plus 2c is equal to 0. Now from the points, so when I substitute option number 3, so this equation will be satisfied. So clearly option 3 is my answer. Next, moving on to one more question. So what he has given, k plus 3 into x square minus of 5 minus k into x plus 1 is equal to 0 as distinct roots. So distinct roots means delta should be greater than 0. So delta should be greater than 0. So delta is nothing but b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. So when I substitute the values, what is b here? So b is nothing but minus of 5 minus k. Directly I can take 5 minus k whole square because whole square no. So minus 4 into a is k plus 3 into c is 1 is greater than 0. Now when I expand this, so what I am going to get, k square minus 10k plus 25 minus 4k minus 12 is greater than 0. On simplification, so k square minus 14k plus 25 minus 3 is 13 is greater than 0. So clearly 13, so only factors are k minus 1 into k minus 13 greater than 0, because so here if you observe sign conversions, so two sign conversions are there, hence directly k minus 1 into k minus 13 is greater than 0. So this I can write as k less than 1 or k greater than 13. So when x minus a into x minus b is greater than 0, where a is less than b, so if this condition is satisfied, that means x belongs to, so simply what we can say, x belongs to minus infinity to a union b to infinity. So this is nothing but my solution, right? So this can also be represented as k is less than a or k is x is less than a or x is greater than b. So this can also be represented as k belongs to minus infinity to 1 union 13 to infinity. So these all are open brackets. So the answer is k less than 1 or k greater than 13. So option 3 is my answer. So this is one more representation for this question. Next, moving on to one more question. So if the roots of the given equation are equal, then a plus c by b. So simply if you observe, b minus c into x square plus c minus a into x plus a minus b is equal to 0. If you observe, these all things are in symmetrical order, right? So if you add all these coefficients, so b minus c plus c minus a plus a minus b. So if you consider this sum, this will be equal to 0. So clearly sum of coefficients is 0 no. So if sum of coefficients is 0, then what I can say is, so 1 is a root. 1 is a root. So if 1 is a root, and one more condition what he has given, if the roots are equal, that means simply what I can say, 1 comma 1 1 comma 1 are the roots. 1 comma 1 are the roots. If 1 comma 1 are the roots, that means this quadratic equation I can write as x minus 1 into x minus 1, which is nothing but x minus 1 whole square is equal to 0. If I expand this, x square minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. On comparison, what I am going to get? A is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 2, c is equal to 1. Right? Then what is the value of a plus c by b? So a plus c by b is nothing but, sorry, here 1 is one of the root, no? So since 1 is one of the root, then both the roots are 1 comma 1. So if both the roots are 1 comma 1, directly what I can say? So here ABC are not the coefficients, right? So the coefficients are different from that. So since both the roots are 1s, so directly I can take product of zeros, sorry, product of roots. So what is product of roots? So product of roots is nothing but constant by x square coefficient. So product of roots is 1 into 1 is equal to constant. So constant is a minus b by b minus c. So from this, on cross multiplication, b minus c is equal to a minus b. So when I transpose this minus b and minus c to either side, so 2b is equal to a plus c. So what do I need? A plus c by b, no? So from this, a plus c by p is equal to 2. So the answer is 2. So option 3 is my answer. Right? Next, moving on to one more question. So x plus 1 by 2 plus y minus 1 by 3 is equal to 8, and x minus 1 by 3 plus y plus 1 by 2 is equal to 9. Then what is the value of y? What is the value of y? On taking LCM, what I am going to get? So 3x plus 1 plus 2y minus 2. 3x plus 3 plus 2y minus 2 is equal to 48. From this, 3x plus 2y is equal to 3 minus 2 is 1. If I transpose, this becomes 47. Next, on taking LCM here, 2x minus 2 plus 3y plus 3 is equal to 9 6 54. Now on simplification, so 2x plus 3y is equal to 54 minus 1 is 53. Since I need y value, so to get the value of y, what I should do? So I need to use elimination method. So for that, so first of all, what I should do, or what I can do here is, here x coefficient is equal to y coefficient, here y coefficient is equal to x coefficient. In such a case, so if this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2, if such case is possible, if x coefficient of first equation is equal to y coefficient, and y coefficient of first equation is equal to x coefficient of second equation, then simply once you do 1 plus 2, so what I am going to get? 5x plus 5y is equal to 100. So from this, x plus y is equal to 20. Next, do 1 minus 2. So if I do 1 minus 2, so x minus y is equal to minus 6. Now since I need, so let this be equation number 3, let this be equation number 4. So on doing 4 minus 3, so when I do 4 minus 3, so x minus x gets cancelled. So minus y is minus 2y is equal to minus 6 minus 20 is minus 26. So minus minus gets cancelled, y is equal to 13. So answer is 30. Next, moving on to one more question. If the sum of squares of the roots of the quadratic equation is 40, so sum of squares, so alpha square plus beta square. So for suppose alpha beta are the zeros, then sum of squares is nothing but alpha square plus beta square is equal to 40 he has given. Clearly alpha square plus beta square I can write as alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta is equal to 40. So from this expression, what are sum of roots? So alpha plus beta is equal to minus of minus 8 by 1, which is nothing but 8. Product of zeros is nothing but k. When I substitute the values, so this becomes 8 square minus 2 times of k is equal to 40. So when I transpose, this becomes 64 minus 40 is equal to 2k. 64 minus 40 is 24 is equal to 2k. So from this k is equal to 12. So answer is k is equal to 12. Right. Next, moving on to one more question. So 14 cards numbered from 5 to 18 are placed in a box mixed thoroughly. If a card is drawn from the box, then the probability the number on the card is divisible by 3 or 2. So 3 or 2. So totally how many cards? So 18 minus 5 plus 1. So simply to count the number of cards, simply take the range and add 1. So 18 minus 5, 13, 13 plus 1, 14. So total number of cards are 14. Next, what is he asking? Divisible by 3 or 2. So divisible by 3 or 2 means, so divisible by 3 plus divisible by 2 minus divisibility of 3 intersection 2. Okay, so divisibility of 3. So out of 14 cards, so how many are divisible by 3? 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So what are the values? 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So totally 5 cards are there. Next, out of 14, how many even numbers will be? So there will be 7 even numbers. So 7 by 14 minus p of 3 intersection 2. That means divisible by 6. So we need to subtract those divisibility by 6 because they comes in 3 as well as 2. So divisibility by 6 means 6, 12 and 18. So those are 3. So 3 by 14. So 5 plus 7, 12. 12 minus 3, 12 minus 3 is 9. So 9 by 14. So answer is 9 by 14. Next, moving on to one more question. So a power x minus 1. So a power x minus 1 I can write as a power x by a is equal to bc. So from this a power x is equal to abc. The same way b power y by b is equal to ca. From this b power y is equal to abc. The same way c power z by c power 1 is equal to ab. So from this c power z is equal to abc. Now what is he asking? xy plus yz plus zx. xy plus yz plus zx. Now how to find this value? So all values are equal, no? So a power x is equal to b power y is equal to c power z is equal to abc. Right? Now from this, what I can find it out? By applying logarithms. So what I am going to get here? X is equal to log of abc to the base a. Y is equal to log abc to the base b. Z is equal to log abc to the base c. Now from this, what I can write? So since I need xy plus yz plus zx, right? xy plus yz plus zx. So from that, what I can do here? If I take 1 by x, so 1 by x is equal to, I can write this as log a to the base abc. Y, so 1 by y is equal to log b to the base abc. 1 by z is equal to log c to the base abc. So if I add all these, so 1 by x plus 1 by y plus 1 by z is equal to, so when I add all these, so this becomes log a to the base abc plus log b to the base abc plus log c to the base abc. This I can write as log of abc to the base abc. So this becomes 1. If I take LCM here, xyz is the LCM. So from which I am going to get xy plus yz plus zx in the numerator. Since I need the numerator value, so xy plus yz plus zx is equal to x into y into z. So option 1 is my answer. So likewise you can solve this problem. So why here we have considered reciprocals? Because so we need to make all the bases as same in the logarithm, so that's why we have considered the reciprocal. So based on that we have got this answer, right? Next, moving on to one more question. So a power x is equal to b power y plus z. So if I take log on both sides, so what I can write this as? So log of a power x is equal to log of b power y plus z. Now using power rule, so this can be written as x into log a is equal to y plus z into log b. Now since I need logs on one side, so I can write as log a by log b is equal to y plus z by x. So log a by log b is equal to y plus z by x. So option 3 is my answer, right? Next, moving on to one more question. If the sum of the roots is 0, then what is the value of lambda? So first of all, x square minus x is equal to 2 lambda x minus lambda. So transpose all the terms. So x square minus x minus 2 lambda x plus lambda is equal to 0. I can write this as minus x. If I take common, then what I am going to get? 1 plus 2 lambda here plus lambda is equal to 0. Now what he has given, sum of roots is 0. So sum of roots is 0 means, so sum of roots is 0. So sum of roots SOR is equal to minus x coefficient by x square coefficient, which is equal to 0 he has given. So minus x coefficient. So what is x coefficient here? So x coefficient is minus of 1 plus 2 lambda by x square coefficient is 1 is equal to 0. So minus of minus 1 is plus 1. So 1 plus 2 lambda is equal to 0. So from this lambda is equal to minus 1 by 2. So lambda is equal to minus 1 by 2 is the answer, right? Next, moving on to one more question. So a comma 0, 0 comma b, 1 comma 1 are collinear. So collinear means you can directly consider the values of area of triangle is equal to 0. So how to find area of triangle? So half into modulus of x1 minus x2, x1 minus x3, y1 minus y2, y1 minus y3. So this is nothing but indeterminate, and this is modulus equal to 0. So from this 1 by 2, if I transpose, this becomes 0. Then directly I can write as, so this is x1, this y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. So what I am going to get? x1 minus x2 is a minus 0, next a minus 1, 0 minus b, 0 minus 1. So this determinant and in modulus equal to 0. So a minus 0 is a minus 1 minus b minus 1 is equal to 0. So when I do cross multiplication, so since it is a 2 by 2 determinant, so directly a into minus 1 is minus a, so minus of minus it becomes plus, b into a minus 1 is equal to 0. So what I am going to get? Minus a plus ab minus b is equal to 0. So those two negative terms, if I transpose, this becomes ab is equal to a plus b. So when I divide both sides with ab, what I am going to get? So ab by ab is equal to a by ab plus b by ab. So this gives me 1 is equal to 1 by b plus 1 by a. So 1 by b plus 1 by a is equal to 1. So the answer is 1. So thanks for watching the video. So thank you very much.